been sitting in here thinking on a lot of things. Brandon brought another computer in. I think it's Cheyenne's old one. And later today or tomorrow, I'll see if I can get it functioning. I have to take Brandon to the Indian Hospital in Ada here pretty quick. I'll be leaving. But I thought I'd do a vlog before I took off. And I'm totally and thoroughly exhausted. It's the best way I can describe how I feel right now. I got plenty of sleep last night. It's nice having the refrigerator back in here because that way I can keep food that is for me. When I buy food to keep me healthy and it goes in the refrigerator in the house, it disappears rapidly. No getting around that. You've got a lot of people living in there. Everybody gets hungry. That's the human condition. Hang on a second. Sorry about that. I hope it's allergies and not something worse. Really feeling bad today. Thinking all the stages that our lives have gone through. Like this morning, I got up. While I was getting up, Linda got up, had to go to the restroom, came back, and gave me the warmest and tenderest hug. I live for those moments. To family this interested, my brother Chris is doing better and better and better. He's antsy, he wants to get out and do things, I understand that. The Navigator is not repaired yet. They build that stuff so that it is really hard to get to components. I think they do that so you have to take it back to the car lot where you bought it to have it repaired, or to a company approved mechanic. As a matter of fact, I'm sure, and as my son Chris and his wife and children, and my granddaughter Zara Rose, who spent the night with them, were leaving yesterday, they're all telling me, you need to not buy a Ford. Well, technically, a Lincoln Navigator is not a Ford. They're built by the same company, but it doesn't matter which vehicle you get, what type, you're going to have problems. That's because it's a machine. I've just been really reflective lately, reflecting on life, on what's taken place with everyone, the situations that are taking place worldwide and locally. Sometimes, like this morning, I didn't want to get out of bed, but the problem is I've had so many injuries that laying down hurts. And So I get up and I move. I took a shower, came back in, got dressed. I've been studying on a lot of different situations transpiring around the globe. I'll give you, for instance, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm not real sure. I think she's from Georgia or Alabama. She just filed articles of impeachment on Joe Biden. The fix is in, folks. You know, those in power don't want to lose power, and they use their wealth and their influence to make sure the rest of us stay in the cubby hole they've put us in. Well, something is transpiring right now that's making that harder and harder to do. Boycotts, speaking with your wallet. It has adversely affected Anheuser-Busch on their Bud Light brand. People quit buying it. I know some are still getting sold for pandering to sexual perverts is why that happened. The same with Target. Target being woke and pandering to the homosexual and pedophile community, and to those that would sexualize children. Target did that, and suddenly they lost $9 billion with B dollars in 1 week. And so far, I think they're still losing money. Chick-fil-A, a supposed Christian company, and they caved to the bankers and stuff, and they started pandering and catering to the homosexual and pedophile community. Well, they're being hit in the pocketbook. Kohl's grocery stores are being hit in the pocketbook. And the big shots at Target evidently hired some think tank folks to try to understand why the conservatives are reacting like they are. Now, I'm hoping this doesn't get pulled down. None of my videos are monetized. And here within a week or so, I'm looking at switching over to Rumble. I've got an account with them. I haven't done anything with them. My brother Christopher has severe health problems. Well, guess what? So does my wife Linda, and so do I. And having to cope with that is taking a toll on us, all of us. And you top that off with a whole bunch of children running all over the place. And, you know, kids play. That's what they do. They get into things. That's what they do. Their curiosity dictates what they're going to do. And children are a gift from God. They are. But when you're older, it creates a situation. I'm doing my vlog. Come on in, sweetheart. A situation where you don't have the energy to go ahead and deal with small kids. And that's where my wife is, and that's where I am. And it seems like there's no rest for the weary, the wicked, or the weary. Well, my wife's never been wicked. I have been, but she's not been. And she's sitting right across from me in a chair, and I can tell her right now on camera, I'm so in love with you, girl. I am. She just shot me the double I love you sign. But I really have had misgivings about some of the things going on. Granted, the best way to dictate to those that are in power is with your wallet. And these large corporations like Target, they don't understand what a bad mistake they made by catering to pedophiles and the homosexual community. Now, like I said, I hope this doesn't get struck. You've got fact checkers. You know, there are guys that make loud statements on YouTube, and one in particular, Buddy Brown, you know, he said basically the same thing I'm saying now, and never has his video knocked off the air. Well, that is because he's a huge YouTube channel, and YouTube makes money off of him. Well, they don't make a dime off of me, and probably never will. But the bottom line, I guess, on what I'm saying, you know, speak with your wallet. Don't spend money with people that violate what you believe in. Let me get a sip. And it works, folks. It absolutely works. It is working. Maybe corporate America will pay attention, but let me tell you why they did what they did. It's like Disney. Disney, their theme parks are being boycotted right now. Their products are being boycotted because they cater to people that they shouldn't. Well, here's why that happens, and then I'll close my vlog for today. You have all of these young people going to college, and a lot of them, because they're inherently lazy, mommy and daddy have paid their way their entire lives, they really don't understand working and doing for themselves. You know, the old joke about a guy that's playing video games in his mom's basement and he's 60 years old, a lot of that's true, you know.
I'm not 60.
But that's my sweetheart laughing over there. But what happens, I didn't really choose my majors in college. They got chosen for me due to what I was having to do for a living in the meantime, and it just all snowballed and took, you know, a long time for it to all happen. However, a lot of young people, I'm talking teenagers, late teens, early 20s, mid 20s, that go to college, they're going into the liberal arts field because they believe it to be easier. Well, you still have some basic college requirements that are not easy if you're going to get a degree. You have to have a basic understanding of basic advanced mathematics, like you take a logic class. I helped a friend of mine at OU pass because he couldn't grasp what logic was about. He had no idea it was going to be a math course. Well, it was. I won't name the guy's name. He and another friend of mine that helped me retrieve a pickup from the Mojave Desert when Lynn and I were first married. Anyway, that friend and I helped this other friend go ahead and get a passing grade. He still didn't understand it, but we told him how to get around it. It's kind of like in law enforcement when you investigate a traffic accident. They use a formula called the coefficient of friction. And I'm not going to blather out the formula here on YouTube, but let me explain. They just teach you how to use a calculator and do the coefficient. That way you can more or less tell how fast the vehicle is going before the wreck. You also use crush factor. Well, all that's math, and you use math in the real world. A lot of people don't realize that, but there are several professions that mathematics has to be applied to. Now, what's this got to do with people going to work for these major corporations? Well, most of these folks have degrees in the liberal arts field, and when they do that, they come in, they'll have high scores, they pad a resume, they get put into a position, they work their way, and that is a very loose definition. Most of them trade sexual favors to get to the position that they're in a deciding position. In other words, they can make decisions for a company. And most of these younger people that do that have the morals of a tomcat. And so they get in a position, they start directing company policy, and suddenly it blows up because these major corporations, they hire the youngest and what they consider the brightest, but they also hire them because they hire them for a lower salary than someone that is actually qualified to do the job would be paid. And it snowballs and it keeps going, and they end up having an absolute explosion on their hands in a bad way. And that is happening more and more. That's my opinion, but it is an educated opinion. I keep my finger on the pulse of what's going on. Now, where's all this heading? Well, you've got the House getting ready probably to file impeachment on Joseph Robinette Biden. And you've got corporate America on the other hand is losing billions of dollars, which that rolls over also into people not having a job, because if you don't have the income, you can't pay someone. And it points to one thing before I close my vlog, and that one thing is I personally believe that there is still a great silent majority in this country that they believe in God, they believe in being a patriot, they believe that America is the greatest nation on earth, and they believe in right and wrong. And most of them, when they finally wake up and they don't spend their money with major companies anymore, the major companies will get the message or they'll end up having to shut down. And it's like Buddy Brown said on his last video, thank you Target for helping all these small homegrown businesses, these mom and pop businesses taking over because you were stupid enough to try to impose a homosexual agenda on your customers. Now, folks, I'm going to get off of here. Remember, this crazy old man loves all of you with my whole heart, I do. And I pray for all of you that's watching this. I pray for everybody. And like the sign right there says, be kind. Always be kind. Bye.